You won't believe how this man turns ordinary tree bark into the ultimate waterproof survival jacket. Because he starts by climbing up a tall palm tree and hacking off these thick, hairy layers of bark with a rusty machete. And then he hauls a massive pile of them down the mountain to a rushing river so he can scrub away all the dirt and impurities, ensuring the fibers become completely clean and flexible. But that is only the very beginning of this insane ancient craft. Because after washing, he lays every single piece out on the rocks under the hot blazing sun so they can dry out perfectly. And then he takes a spiked wooden tool to aggressively comb and shred the rough edges, which separates the material into fine, thin threads so he can twist them tightly into strong, durable ropes entirely by hand. And he even uses traditional wooden clamps to spin the fibers faster, making a thick, natural twine that will hold the whole thing together. But building the actual cloak takes ridiculous precision because he carefully folds the toughest pieces of bark to create a reinforced collar. And then he uses a massive metal needle to pierce through the thick layers so he can stitch them tightly with the rope he just made. And he has to hammer the fibers down to make sure they lay flat and overlap like shingles on a roof, so the rain will just slide right off without soaking through. And the amount of patience required here is absolutely mind-blowing because he literally sews hundreds of tiny individual stitches by hand, weaving layers upon layers of this wild material until it forms a massive, beautiful cape. And he even trims the bottom with giant scissors to give it a clean, perfectly even edge, so it looks like a professional garment. But he has one final extreme test to prove how tough it is, because he literally holds a burning flame right against the dry bark to show it won't instantly catch fire. And then the sky goes completely dark as a massive thunderstorm rolls in, so he throws the heavy cloak over his shoulders and grabs his bamboo hat to walk right out into the pouring rain. And as he steps into the flooded rice fields, the water completely repels off the natural palm fibers, keeping him totally dry while he works in the muddy terrain. And it is just so satisfying to watch someone create something this functional entirely from nature. So you have to appreciate the ancient skills that went into making this masterpiece.